Okay, so here we are in Invercargill, New Zealand, in the harbor, waiting to board the Russian-built icebreaker, the academic Shekalsky, to go on this amazing journey. And so next picture, again, a look at the harbor and just looking out at the ocean where we are going. And there is the icebreaker, the academic Shekalsky. And is in Russian, of course. We have a Russian crew. We were 45 passengers. Initially, 6 scientists from Invercargill, and we picked up 5 more on Macquarie Island, so 11 scientists that taught us a whole lot about the area we were in, and 22 crew members, all Russians. So my 2 words in Russian, the good day and please and thank you, helped tremendously. So here we are, and starting out academic Shekalsky, and we are heading south towards Antarctica. I found out about this journey through my bicycle friend in Australia, who had done the tour already in 2005. It was the most expensive undertaking I ever had, and it was worth every penny and then some. It was a very, very unique experience. So there we are waving out, and out we go into the ocean and heading, oops, I'm a bit sideways, but you see the proud Canadian is always wearing the Canadian pin. And there we go. And so every time as we were on the way down, we did 4,828 nautical miles, which is 8,941 kilometers in 30 days. That was quite an undertaking, okay? And then every time when we passed an island and we were stopping to explore it, we had to go into a Zodiac. And this is where I'm heading here, okay? And then here's the first visit on an island. And what totally fascinated me was how innocent these animals were and curious to meet us, and they never ran away. They always came close and had a look. And that is so amazing. Oops, when you are, especially when you're, oops, why isn't this? Now here I am on this, in the snares. We did an exploration, and of course the vegetation, like New Zealand, is so totally different from ours, and it's amazing because I mean, we are not quite across the Antarctic Circle yet, but how the vegetation is just so different and wonderful. Look at this.
What time of year was it?
I did this in 2018, January 2018. Okay, so only 2 years
So that
ago.
would be summer in the southern
3 years ago. Yes, it's summer down there, absolutely. And that's the only time you can go, because, and even then, being summer, once you approach Antarctica and you come into the Arctic Circle, anything is possible. Okay, I will show you when we, so there's some more beautiful flowers, and there's the first penguin. I had no idea, and learned that there are 40 different species of penguins, and we got to meet 12 of them. And they are just fantastic animals. Look at them. And look how they come towards us and check us out, right? I mean, nothing there was no, and there's a seal, you know, same thing. Oh, hi there. You look different. Look at this. Huh?
Wow.
Oops, what happened here? Oh, and then of course you have that as well. There's life and there's death. And then this here was I forgot to turn, I thought I had turned the picture, pardon me. This is a monument of where the people died, were on March 25th, 1907, because of what do you call it?
Exposure to what?
Yeah. So out we go into the wild blue yonder, always looking out, you know, passing, there's more penguins along the island, huge seaweed. And this is, and there we took a hike on, now we are on Auckland Island. And this is the Shokalski that we arrived in, okay? And we went up to a lookout where we marched about 2 kilometers, and in the wartime, it was actually monitoring the ships going through the area. And as we were returning, we couldn't believe that this 5-ton seal was blocking our way. How he got 2 kilometers up the road is up the path is totally unimaginable, but there he was, and we had to crawl through the bush to get past him. And I mean, the vegetation, the beautiful New Zealand ferns, you know, just totally awesome. There we are again, getting ready for another departure onto, there's the Zodiacs. That's how we maneuvered to land, okay? And here's another colony. We had the blessing to see a colony of royals, and these are the kings. These are king penguins. Let me see. These are the royals. Okay, the royal were 30,000, and the kings were there. Look at them. Are they not so unusual? You know how they walk and waddle, and just amazing. And they are the kings. And they always came close and had a look at us, and you know, checked us out.
Wow.
Just look at the numbers, you know. And look at this little guy. I mean, look at his fingernails or foot nails, whatever you want to call it. You know, I thought that was the cutest picture. Look at them here, giving us a sermon. Okay, back out in the ocean, there's the first ice that we see. We are getting, oh my God. And that was the first iceberg, you know. The captain actually dared us. We could go on the bridge and look out who would see the first iceberg. They had arrived. And the water got a bit rougher, and, you know, quite interesting. Now, my element, personally, my element is the air, and I'm not a sailor. But this was an amazing journey. And here we are sailing towards Commonwealth Bay into the pack ice. And what we have to realize that only 1/3 of the ice is on top of the water and the rest is below. So, you know, when a ship hits an iceberg, it's the damage is done underneath. And then, of course, on, you know, whenever there is something floating, you'll find nature on it. There's a seal. And there's the academic Shokalski. There we go. Always checking us out. And another big iceberg, and another. I think that's a king, actually. Maybe not. And here we are crossing into the Antarctic Circle at 66.33. And the pack ice in Commonwealth Bay is getting thicker. And the academic Shokalski has been doing, this company exists for over, I think, since the early 90s. And in 2013, they actually got stuck in the pack ice in Commonwealth Bay and had to be evacuated by helicopter. And that was publicized over there throughout the world. And also the water here is getting quite rough. And what we have to realize, we are in albatross country. The albatross is the bird. It's actually, I call it a glider because it doesn't flap its wings like normal birds. It has the biggest wingspan of 5 meters. And all it does, it opens up its wings and lets the wind take it up. And then it glides and it dives into the water and picks out the fish and it keeps gliding. Rarely flaps its wings. And here we are approaching Antarctica. Yes, happy Walli. Just got to show you, look at all the pack ice, look at all the, you know, and we tried to get into Commonwealth Bay. We had the scientists on board. David, his life mission is to save Mawson's hut. Who was Mawson? Mawson was a Antarctic explorer who made it to the South Pole. All his companions died on the way back, and he missed the pickup boat. So he got to the hut and he overwintered all by himself in the hut and was picked up the following spring. They came back and just thought, we have to look for these people, and they found them alive, you know. So that's an amazing story. And here the icebergs are getting a little bit bigger, you know. It's oops, what did I do here? There we go. Look at this gorgeous hole, you know. Look at this. And of course, there's life in the water. And there we go on land. And there we are on Cape Adare in Antarctica. And guess who is asleep? Well, have a look. Wakey, wakey. There we are. Bit of ice in the nose, but that's okay. Ooh, look at the people. No aggression whatsoever. Oops, what did I do now? Oops, there we go. Okay, and then of course there's also a penguin to greet us. There's a chin strap, a different variety again. Okay. And there I am on Antarctica. It was cold. I think it was about -15 thereabouts, and Canadians are used to that, you know. Look at this. No, what happened now? Whoops.
I think that's the end of pictures in that area.
That's weird.
I think you're at the end of your pictures in that folder.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh,
So you want to go to the
I
next.
can't. Okay, and then so from okay, from Antarctic, so from Cape Adare, we came back, and we came to through the Bellini chain. And the reason I use this post is because it best describes what we did here. Imagine stepping foot on an island that less than 250 people have ever explored. That was the experience for the 45 expeditioners aboard the academic Chokalski on Thursday, who landed on Borodile Island in Antarctica's Bellini Island chain as Weddell seals sung in the background and a chinster penguin greeted them. And you know, people, that's why I feel so blessed that I have dared to seek this adventure. I mean, this was just totally, totally amazing. So that's that picture. And then, what's this? Oh, that's not, okay. And then we go to Nikon here. And then we go, and this was also a very amazing experience. I am now on Campbell Island. And again, the nature at its best with, you know, animals. Like in total, we saw 137 bird species and 13 different kinds of mammals. It's totally amazing. What's unique to Campbell Island, they got rid of, because of course, everywhere humans go, they introduce something that's not the best for the area. And so they had to really get rid of all the rats and all the rabbits on these islands, because it was destroying vegetation and also affecting who was there. So totally amazing. You know, look at these seals, how they get up on these rocks. It's beyond me with all that, with the weight they carry, you know, but totally, totally awesome. Volcanic origin, millions of years old. There you see the basalt pillars, and just totally, totally awesome. And I can only recommend it, you know, to do this. There's another different penguin. Nah, come on. There we go. There we go. Just amazingly beautiful. And we also had two of the scientists that were with us, Dean and Dean Miller and John. Unfortunately, John passed away last year of a stroke at age 70, but Dean is the younger one, and their life mission was and is to save the Great Barrier Reef. And we all know, yeah, so look at the birds. Birds, come on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, and this is a nest, actually. She's breeding, And, you know, no fear displayed, no, you know, we could be there and take the pictures. There you see the nest better. And then they talk chess. Then they have walkways around, and it's well maintained now and looked after, and conservationists are doing an amazing job. Look at this. That's still in the, yeah, I guess we're still in the Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. And I'm trying to get an albatross, but they were a bit scarce. More vegetation, more ferns. And there's the proud Canadian. And the academic Shokalski way down in the bay. There we are, looking out. Heading back towards Queenstown. See all the birds here, see all the population of the birds on top of the rock. Thousands of them, just thousands. Look at this. Absolutely, totally beautiful. So that's about all I have to show. And I think my time is almost up, right, Graham?
Yeah, we'll just now go in and show some, allow people to ask some questions, and we're going to show how that's done.
Oh, okay. What?
Okay, so if people have questions, what you'd like you to do is find the participants little thing on the Zoom toolbar, click on it and click on raise your hand, and we'll take questions in order as you raise your hand. Will please raise your hand if you want to ask a question, and then we'll ask you to unmute. Okay, we'll go in order. We got some questions coming up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hello, Jim Winslow.
Okay. Julia, go ahead, unmute yourself. You've got the first question.
Oh.
Do you have a map of your journey that you could show us?
Yeah, I have it on paper, and I didn't put it, I don't think I put it in, do I have just give me 2 seconds and let me check from
I really was not aware of so many little islands south of New Zealand.
Oh yeah, oh, it's amazing.
If you can't find it, don't worry, but I'll have a look at a map soon. But
yeah, actually what I no. Now here is one of my favorite pictures with a penguin couple. And you know what fascinates me always in nature is they mate for life. And you know, one looks like the other. How do they figure out they are with the right mate? When we look all different and we can't stay with one.
Okay, Jim has the next question. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Jim?
Okay,
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, and Jim, you put yourself back on mute, so please unmute yourself.
Okay. Penguins imprint their mother's sound. They have magnocellular neurons, which after a day, they make an engram of the mother's sound, and that's how they recognize their
Yeah.
parents.
Their
And somebody got a Nobel Prize for that. And my question is, what was the name of the island with the many birds at the end?
Campbell Island.
Okay.
Campbell Island, it's just before Christchurch. All islands belong to New Zealand except Macquarie Island. Macquarie is Australian.
Okay. Thank you very much, Walli. I'm the one who put you up to speaking.
I know, and thank you for giving me the chance, and I hope I did a good enough job.
Oh, A+, very good.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions, please raise your virtual Zoom hand.
Okay.
Diane, go ahead.
I have a couple of questions. What camera did you use for your pictures? Because they are excellent.
Yeah, I have a small Fuji I took pictures with, and I have a Nikon. And Nikon is excellent. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And my second question is, when you pass those huge colonies of birds, one of the comments that a lot of people have made about going to the Arctic and the Antarctic in particular, is the smell of the birds. Did you find that was actually not the smell of the birds, but of their guano? Did you find that as a...
Well, I think I have a different attitude. I can accept nature for what it is, right? Like there are people that want everything pristine and everything just so, and I say, this is the way it is, right? And I mean, let's face it, when we go to the bathroom, does it smell? You know, I mean, we are no different when you think about it. Okay, yeah, we try to hide it and we camouflage it and all that. Well, nature is totally different, you know?
So interesting that you should say that. I have just finished reading a book about cleaning of the skin and how it is important that microbiomes, which we have all over us, are shared with animals, and animals share theirs with us, and it makes us healthier.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
And I've always said, you know, I mean, I grew up post-war Germany where you had a once a week bath, right? I mean, daily you washed your critical areas and you were clean and all that stuff. But I think we are sterilizing ourselves to death today.
And that's exactly, I'll show this book to people because I'd highly recommend reading it if you're interested. It's called Clean by a doctor, James Hamblin.
I will look for that.
Yeah,
okay.
You want me to put it up? I can put it in the next email if you want.
Yeah.
James Hamblin.
Yeah. Can I just go back and bring up a picture? Actually, it's oh, can't play it. Oh.
Okay.
Maybe
we have another question. Seamus, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Seamus?
Ask to unmute.
You'll have to unmute yourself. Go ahead, Seamus.
No, you're still muted, Seamus. Bottom left corner.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for a very interesting presentation. And I couldn't help but notice your reference to the temperature down in the Antarctica. So we shouldn't complain when it's -20 here in Toronto.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. And actually, my skin doctor tells me that I should wear sunscreen all the year because you benefit from the winter light, you know. But getting back to your exploration, how many other? What were the other nationalities on that ship? It sounds very interesting socially. I'm sure you had interesting evenings over dinner and maybe some Russian vodka and some Ukrainian wine.
Well, the Russian influence wasn't that dominant because the staff didn't join us per se, right? And my fellow passengers, a lot of them were from New Zealand and Australia. I was the only North American, which totally surprised me. And there were 11 Europeans from, because the tour leader was a French scientist who had worked on Antarctica and then was hired by Heritage Expedition. And he, of course, brought friends in from France and a couple from Norway, like more, like I say, 11 Europeans and myself, so 12, so 33 New Zealanders and Australians.
Well, it sounds like you had a very interesting days, and thank you for
Yes,
sharing. I enjoyed it.
We certainly did. And also we celebrated Australia Day while we were on the way down to Cape Adare. And that was a fun day. A real fun day. And then one of the Dean Miller, the Barrier Reef scientist, got engaged. We had the engagement party on the ship, so that was fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you.
Bon voyage.
Jim has another question or comment. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Jim.
From Google Maps, I have Campbell Island.
Yeah.
Can I show it here?
Okay.
A minute. I can't find the bloody camera. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's not working. But there's, if you do Google Maps, you can get a lovely picture, and then use the satellite version, you'll get it.
God, I'm so sorry. I have because
Okay. No problem.
my notes here have the journey in it. But if you go after this session, if you go on your computer and you Google heritageexpeditions.com, okay, and then look for Antarctica, you will see the journey. It's still going. Okay. It's the most expensive thing I've ever done, but worth every penny and then some. Okay. So, you know, you have to calculate in, first of all, how few people go. And secondly, the danger. You know, like I said, 8 years ago, they were evacuated by helicopter because they couldn't, the boat was stuck, I understand, for about 6 weeks,
Wow.
you know, before they could get out.
Wow.
So it's quite a risk they are taking, you know, and also with icebergs and whatever. It's not a, and we were 4 days in 130 km/h storm, and that's the albatross area, right, where they glide around. And I was one of 5 people that didn't get seasick. My element is definitely the air. Like I go flying in two-seater jets and roll around in the sky, and I jump out of airplanes, and you know, and I I'm going in September. I'm going skydiving for my 80th birthday. So there. And the reason I have been on a sailboat with 3 different sailors, and I don't know what it is about them doing this to me, but they all put Walli on the rocks.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments? Please raise your virtual Zoom hand.
No? There's one.
Yeah, Diane?
Okay, well, this isn't a question, but it's just a huge thank you, Walli, for sharing your wonderful pictures with us and your experiences. You said at the end of your biography, you can do it too. Well, it feels like I would love to get on that ship and do that trip as well.
Mhm.
I certainly am going to be looking it up, and thank you for your heritageexpeditions.com. I will put that in the next email so anybody who
Mhm.
wants to look it up can. And I am hoping that you will agree to share another adventure of the many that you have had next fall, perhaps,
Mhm.
with shellbacks. It would be wonderful. And you would have an opportunity, I hope at that time, to come down to RCYC to do it in person
Mm.
rather than to do it on Zoom. But I also wanted everybody else to know that I have been speaking with RCYC, with Martha Henderson, who is now the Rear Commodore, and she is really excited about having both on-site and Zoom out of RCYC next year. So Walli, if you are available to join us, either way you would choose, we would love to have you back. And I'd
Well,
like everybody just to give her a lovely round of applause for the
Bravo,
presentation today.
bravo.
Bravo, yes.
thank you,
absolute
thank you.
Bravo.
And just to give you thank you for the invitation, because hopefully I have another sailing trip to talk about, because I have visited 250,000 penguins in Antarctica in September of last year. I was going to go north and shake paws with the polar bears, going to the Western Pole on an icebreaker along Greenland past Ellesmere Island. And this journey, of course, COVID wiped it. It's moved to September of this year. So hopefully it's a 20-day journey, and hopefully I'm going to be out there and then tell you about my trip up north.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Walli. Again, one more little round of applause for her. That was wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have coming up next time, what's today, the 17th, just a minute, there we are. I've lost my sheet here. We have coming up next week, we have Rob Mazza joining us again. Rob, we look forward to it. And he's going to bring Jenny McEwen along, possibly with his wife Za and Steve Hill and Anne McEwen. And they're going to share their journey on the French canals. So we look forward to that, Rob. And following that, Doreen Green. Doreen, you're here today, I think, somewhere. And Doreen has agreed to share with us her journey from Moscow to St. Petersburg on a cruise ship. So we certainly look forward to that as well. And again, I remind everybody about the breakout rooms afterwards. Don't forget to click if you want to join us. We do have some interesting conversations in those rooms. And with that, we have Pipes Out.